Well, hello friends, neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here. Welcome on deck. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon in July. It's the 4th of July. Happy 4th to all my American friends and viewers. And I thought, well, nothing better on a nice hot July day to sit down with a bourbon and talk a little bit about what's going on. So today we're going to take a look at two, I would say, classic solid bourbons. We're going to compare them. I've got Knob Creek Small Batch, it's non-age stamp one, and Wild Turkey 101. So after the break, we'll get into some good bourbon.
3, 4.
Thanks for staying with me through the break. You know, it really is a nice hot day in July, and it certainly makes me think of bourbon. I'll admit to you, I often have a bourbon over ice when it's hot. I still think it can hold up well and taste great. But today I want to compare two things. This is Knob Creek Small Batch and Wild Turkey 101. This Knob Creek Small Batch, you know, it's from Jim Beam, and its mash bill. Actually, I think these mash bills are the same. 75 corn, 13 rye, and 12 barley. Yeah, that's a classic Wild Turkey, and I think that's the same for this Jim Beam product. So they have the same mash bill. 75 corn, 13 rye, 12 barley. And this is released at 50%. It used to carry a 9-year age stamp, now it doesn't. But that's pretty much all I know about. I don't know the casking, like the char level and whatnot. One more piece of information when we come over to Wild Turkey. You know, Wild Turkey 101 it even says right on here a barrel char number 4. Same mash bill, 75, 13, 12, but it's bottled at 50.5%. Of course, that gives you the 101 proof versus the 100 proof. Aside from the barrel char difference, I don't know that much. Oh, ages. As I said, this used to be 9. Now it doesn't carry an age stamp. I don't have any information on what's in here. Many websites say that Wild Turkey is a mix of different ages, right? It's got 6, 8, and even 12 in here. But I really don't have specific information, and neither distillery puts out an age stamp on either of these, so I think they're looking for a flavor profile, and they select casks accordingly to match that profile. Distiller.com rates both of these pretty low, like 82 and 84, somewhere in those early 80s. I'll rate them when I get to it, but I will say that, you know what, I disagree with Distiller.com on these. Let's talk Knob Creek. Small batch from Jim Beam. This nose, it was a little bit mineral there, but I've got nice sweet sugars, brown sugars. A little bit of spicing comes up there, just some gentle, relaxed cinnamons. Let's see the Wild Turkey. Brighter, juicier, lighter fruits, yellow fruits, bright cinnamons. Yeah, so just comparing the noses, Knob Creek feels cooked down a little bit, a little darker, a little thicker. And the Wild Turkey, nice and bright, but made my mouth water. Let's see what they taste like. Cheers, and cheers to the 4th. Hope it's an awesome celebration, and that neighbors are reaching out to neighbors and celebrating your country. What a classic bourbon we've got. I'm getting a fair amount of cooked caramelized sugars or brown sugars, vanilla, and a darker cinnamon note. Good oak, like Knob Creek. That is tasty. Let's try Wild Turkey. Cheers again. That was too quick. Still getting good vanilla, brighter spicing. It perks in my mouth a little bit more, a little bitey, little more peppers, or not peppers, but a peppery nature. And there's a sourness. Years ago, I struggled with Wild Turkey. There's a clear sour edge to me to their whiskey. It's actually kind of restrained for me in Rare Breed, but I get it in 101, and it used to put me off. Coming back to small batch, boy, I'm really going back and forth hard. Sweeter, definitely sweeter on the nose. Spicier on the nose. They're starting to settle out the differences. A little more spice going on in the Wild Turkey than in the Knob Creek. A little dark cherry in that one. Yeah, definitely little red fruits. I think I'm just sweating too much out here on the deck. But I like this spicing on here. I'm gonna say, even though the same mash bill, it feels higher rye, and I like rye. Yeah, a little dried apricot, dried fruiting in there, and then a little more pepper to the cinnamon. I'm I'm searching for that char, something kind of dark and charred, because I know it's heavily charred. And maybe in the finish. Oh, it dries nicely in the finish. And spicing just keeps coming. Oh, I wanted to come back to that sour note. So, I think I reviewed, I don't know if it was Wild Turkey 101 or might even been just my comments in Rare Breed. Oh, it was a Russell's product. It was Russell's, the 10-year-old. And at the time, I really got hung up on that sour note, and it really kept me off Wild Turkey for a long time. I'm past it, or now I appreciate it. It's like context now. The souring is clearly intentional. It's not curdled. It's not bad. It's not off sour. It's just that, like if you're having a whiskey sour, you want that nice puckering sour because you've added some lemon juice. I'm not saying this is in that ballpark, but what I'm saying is I now think the spicing is balanced with the sour, and I appreciate 101 more now for it. This is a tough call. You can tell how quickly back and forth I've been trying to go between Knob Creek Small Batch and Wild Turkey 101. I think, and I hinted at this earlier, I really disagree with the distiller on these. I think in my neck of the woods, these sit around $35. That's Canadian. And that is it's not bottom shelf, but it's very affordable. And I've had a number of bottles that are easily twice that much in bourbon, or 3 times. And I have to say, these hold up against those. I suggest these are solid, in my rating scale, 4 stars, which puts them in the upper 80s. Really, I genuinely feel these are far closer to that 88 range than that bottom of the 80s. I really feel these are great bourbons, and you could pick either one. I think you'll find, every palate different. It's just my opinion. But I think you'll find that the Knob Creek it's only half a ABV less. They're both basically the same kind of proof, but somehow it tastes a little sweeter, a little juicier in its fruits, and a little more cooked down in what's going on. But you might be in the mood for just a great flavor explosion. And the Wild Turkey 101 is that. It is full of rich flavors, good flavors. And I have come around. I've always liked it, but now I can embrace just that little bit of sour note as part of its essential character and really like it. Which one do I prefer? I'm going to give a slight nod to the Knob Creek. I think most people out there will actually go for the Wild Turkey. I think when they're picking it up, they're looking for a bright, not very spicy, but a bold, spicy drink that's going to hold up in ice, as I mentioned, or bring life to a cocktail. Boy, that's tough back and forth. They're basically, for me, they're both 4 stars. In this context, I think I'm liking Knob Creek just a little bit better. Wow, what a comparison. And I don't think when I've been this warm out here on the deck. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. As I said earlier, I do hope that if you're in the States that this is a great 4th of July celebration for you, and that it can be an opportunity to see how great you are together. You guys have a great and fantastic Saturday.